start? Ready to start? Let's start with it. All right. What is up, YouTube singers? What is up, CKVX Studio friends? Welcome to another episode of What is Up with Singing. My assistant Zeus here again. He's been teaching lessons all week. He's been he's a great coach. I learned a lot from him. Thanks, Zeus. Thank you. We'll see you later, buddy. We'll see you later. Maybe. I don't know. He might go to sleep. Anyway, welcome back. Welcome back. My last vlog, my vocal video log. I said, ask me some questions in the comments section. I will do my absolute best to answer them, and that's what we're going to do. So, welcome back, and let's just get right into it. Had some really cool stuff that was said. First things first, from FIQ51, FIQ51, I guess. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. But that person said, "What do you think of the habit of clearing throat? Some say it's bad for your vocal cords." I have to agree. It's bad for the vocal cords. I've tried my absolute best to get out of the habit of clearing my throat. Unless there's just so much gunk, there's nothing you can do about it, and that's when it's really nasty, and that's when it's not even fun to talk about. But the truth is, if you are in the habit of always clearing your throat before you sing, it's not a good thing. I always kind of feel like it's like if you just take your vocal cords and smack them together real hard. That's just what it feels like to me. It doesn't feel good. And getting in the habit of that, it's just a bad habit. It's probably the equivalent of, I don't know, picking your nose for the vocal cords. You don't need to clear your throat. The best thing to do is actually get in the habit of using that airflow, the breathing in, exhaling, all of that good stuff, and use that to clear your throat naturally. That's what I do. If I have to sing for a long period of time, all that stuff and all that gunk starts clearing itself out naturally. There are a few things you can take, obviously some supplements to help get rid of that mucus stuff. Here in the United States, I'm a big fan of Mucinex, the original Mucinex stuff. Plug me, Mucinex. Give me some free Mucinex. Stuff's expensive. But I'm a big fan of using that, and it really helps just loosen up the mucus so it drains a lot easier and a lot quicker. And once you start singing, you feel it kind of start gunking up. And don't clear your throat. Just let it naturally loosen up. And after a while, it feels a lot better. And licorice root tea. Supposedly, there's an enzyme in licorice root tea that promotes good mucus. There's good mucus and bad mucus. Bad mucus is the stuff that makes your throat get sore and all that nasty stuff. And licorice root... the licorice root tea I like to drink, it helps. It's like WD-40 for the vocal cords. I'm a big fan of using it. It always makes me feel much more just warm and smooth in there. I know everybody likes to, everybody has their own remedy. I'm sure y'all could get on here and comment like 50 things that each one you do that works for you. I tell you what, if it works for you, it works for you. Everybody's different. The good old salt water, warm salt water with lemon and honey and all that stuff. If it works for you, it works for you. And I found if it makes my throat feel better, it makes my throat feel better. And truth is, if I'm playing a really late gig and my allergies have been getting me all day, or I'm just coming out of a cold, and let's say I don't have to sing much the next few days, I won't lie. If I'm like, oh, I got a 4-hour gig, oh, my throat's a little sore. I've taken everything possible. I've taken the Mucinex. I've drinking the tea. I've drunk the tea, and I'm still just not feeling it. There's two things that'll fix it at that point. Number one, it's in your head. You just gotta let it loose. You just gotta chill, relax, and just let it float away. Just pretend it's not there, and that actually does a big thing. Number two, when all else fails, and even you can't get out of your head, there's always Mr. Jack Daniels to come to the rescue. And I won't lie, there's been several times when it's just not working. Nothing's going to work, and I just say, I need some Jack on the rocks or a shot of Jack, and then I forget my vocal trouble. It's very nice. Speaking of drinking, today I am drinking a very fancy drink here in a very fancy koozie. This is a Coors Light. It's a very fancy beer here in the United States. It's not available in many places. If you get your hands on some Coors Light, I recommend you try it. It is a very phenomenal beverage, an adult beverage at that. If you are under 21 in the United States, do not drink this delicious, amazing, fantastic, top of the line, extremely rare, expensive brew. All right. All right. Make sure 21 and up. All right. All right. Number 2. Let's move on. My beautiful girlfriend, Gabrielle Soler, was very sweet. She said, I am impressed. I'm actually excited to start practicing again. You gave great tips and perspectives I hadn't considered before. Thank you for your encouraging vlogs. Thank you, Gabby, my baby. I appreciate it. I love you. And let's move on here. The next one here. Now, this one is from one of my students, and we actually just had a fantastic lesson today. But I want to get back to this. This, I think, deserves, this one probably deserves several vlogs with several guests, which, by the way, they're getting lined up. I'm excited. But my student, Aaron Freeman, shout out to you, brother. Nice work today. I'm extremely proud of you. We had a few lessons getting rolling. He was really trying to figure some stuff out in his head, had a lot of stuff he was trying to process. Then today he comes in and he says, I think I got it. I can sing and enjoy it. And he comes in and he's singing a Linkin Park tune, and the dude is just killing it. He's having a great time. And we had a fantastic lesson, so thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. And Aaron said, great job, Chris, ! Because last vlog, if you want to watch it, I had somebody say some nice comments with a lot of exclamation points, and I made sure to repeat those. So he said, great job, Chris, ! We'll love to hear some tips on how to develop a unique style and sound. Cheers! ! Cheers to you, Aaron, and nicely done again. As far as developing a unique style and sound, I would love to say I'm the guy to ask for that, but I think that's something that would have to come from many people. I have my own personal things, and I'm also working every day. Every day I try to write my own song or even sing a song. I'm working on creating my own unique sound and the character to my voice. So that's something we can get into later on and cover a lot of stuff. But I will say real quick, one of the best ways, one of the basics to get started with that would be start with your speaking voice. Start with your emotion. I know that might sound a little cliche, but the voice you speak with, the voice you use when you're really passionate about something, that's the voice you want to use when you sing. Always use that as your base. Always use that as your starting point. And that in itself will lead to a lot of really cool things that will help you develop your own unique sound. So great question, Aaron. We'll work on that next lesson. And also we'll probably cover that quite a bit in several upcoming vlogs. Now a question I thought was very fun here. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. All right, now this one's by Anthony Davis, and I definitely wanted to answer this one. He said, thanks for the vlog, ! Never could understand how people do scales for hours and hours. That always seemed quite boring to me, like they are going to get up on stage and perform the scales for the audience. 20-minute workouts, I like the term workouts, very cool. 20-minute workouts definitely rule. Yes, they do, Anthony. And he said, here is my question. Is it safe to scream like Chino from Deftones or Chester from Linkin Park, RIP? Is there a method that can help to develop such sounds like an SS360/SLS do with quote-unquote clean singing, ? In other words, is it possible to do extreme vocals while keeping your larynx neutral and free of any other tension? Then he said, would love to hear some Deftones screaming from you, ! Maybe something from 2012 album, ? Smiley face. I'm a huge Deftones fan, actually. I love the Deftones. I'm more of an early Deftones fan. Deftones screaming from me. I don't know about that. I have sung Deftones before, but Chino's got his own unique thing. He really does. I could do more of a Chester than I think Chino. But as far as screaming safely, and I think that's what he's really asking here, can you learn how to scream safely based off a lot of the vocal techniques and programs that you see, Singing Success, SLS, Per Bristow, Melissa Cross, of course. The list goes on and on and on. Um, I actually took a lesson from Melissa Cross back in, I think it was like 2010. And it was cool because we ended up just sitting and talking for a couple hours about vocal stuff. We were geeking out together. And she had this beautiful studio in New York City that overlooked Madison Square Garden. Big old grand piano in there, had this bathtub-sized humidifying system. It was probably one of the coolest vocal coaches, or one of the vocal studios I've ever been to in my life. And Melissa Cross is super cool, so huge shout out to Melissa Cross. I would say she's probably one of the only programs I've actually seen. I'm sure there's other ones out there. In fact, I've seen some videos, just some kids in their bedroom teaching how to scream that weren't bad, actually. They got like 1 million views. So it's a hard question to answer, because singing, yes, you can do metal screaming, there's lots of different kinds as well. I think every voice kind of creates its own kind of unique scream. For me, I'm more of a classic rock kind of scream, the Robert Plant kind of stuff. That's my thing. Chris Stapleton, I love that kind of style. More of a bluesy, gritty kind of sound. As far as hardcore metal screaming, that's never really been my thing. I focus more on being able to, the ability to do it clean, and then add grit when I want. Metal singing is there's a lot less clean singing, as we all hear, and a lot more just in your face screaming. And a lot of that I consider definitely dangerous for the metal screaming, but at the same time, there's ways to do it very well. There's ways to do it much safer. And there are ways to do it actually pretty safe. Like I said, Melissa Cross, that's who I would start with. I think she's got one of the best programs that when it comes to screaming. Tried and true. She's taught everybody from Disturbed, Lamb of God. The list goes on and on and on. Some of my favorite metal singers. And she really focuses a lot on the false vocal cords. It's a vocal fry sound, but very relaxed. It's not tight. It's not it's not the E.T. phone home. It's not that vocal fry. It's vocal fry with airflow. Hey! And you start practicing that more and more and more. And you start developing the sound. And you can start doing these really cool screams. And then grow in volume over time. Same thing with the low stuff. I can't even do it. I don't have that low of a voice. But those big low, I can't do it. But you hear a lot of that in the post-punk metalcore stuff, which I do enjoy myself some metalcore every now and then, I won't lie. I actually taught Jag from Skylit Drive, badass band. I love those guys. Super cool music. I love those guys. Jag sang the high stuff, though. Is the bass player that sang the low, big metal, boomy screams. But the false vocal cords, look up false vocal cord stuff, false vocal cord screaming. My experience has shown that to be one of the healthiest ways to do it. So have at it. Of course, ask me more questions if you want about it. But that would be my number one take. So that's what I would look up. The last but not least, it's not really a question, but just a kind of a cool topic. Video Here Bob, in all caps. Last time I talked about getting ready to go sing some Kansas. 2 nights ago we actually sang Boston, More Than a Feeling. I know it's the cliche Boston song, but it's a badass song. You gotta admit, it's a badass song. And we performed it for the first time, full band, no rehearsal, because when you're doing covers downtown Nashville, everybody plays so much, rehearsals just don't happen. So you're expected to go in like a pro, actually had practiced, rehearsed your stuff, go in and know what you're doing, and the band plays together. And when you get to the end of it, you get all the way through it, maybe a flub here and there, but for the first time, when you get from A to B, you get from beginning to end, and you all end together, bomb, you all in together, you kind of look at each other with this, yeah, we did it, first time through. And you always say, safe, we're safe, we made it. And the crowd, of course, yay, has no idea, yeah, we've never rehearsed that before. which is really cool. And I did Boston for the first time, and I went for that really high ass G, and it happened. It happened. The adrenaline was going. It happened, and that was a very fun feeling. And so I was talking about singing Kansas and stuff last time, those kinds of songs live, and it's an incredible feeling. Just for fun, just cover stuff. If you're gonna do covers, you gotta enjoy what you're doing, and that's what we're doing downtown. In video here, Bob said, yes, Kansas is tough. Steve Walsh was incredible. He has one of the best ooh vowels I've ever heard in a song. When he sings, surely heaven waits for you, that you is supreme. Video here, Bob, props to you. Excellent ear, by the way, not just for noticing how badass Steve Walsh singing is, but the ooh vowel, that's something I've actually talked about a little bit in a couple kind of talky lessons I put up. I think it was several months ago, actually. But the ooh vowel is actually, it comes up quite a bit, and the ooh vowel is extremely tough to not let air out. Basically, e's and oohs are both very tough. So when someone does sing an ooh, very open and very controlled, yet not pushing, it is very recognizable to a trained ear, and it's also very even if you don't have vocal training, you can still hear it and say that guy's a good singer. Watch your oohs and your e's. If you say your vowels very slow, a, I, o. The ends of diphthongs, a, e, I, they all end with an e sound. Also, the diphthong oi, boy, oi, e. It ends with an e sound. So a, e, I, oi, e, all end with an e. And then we have e, I, o. Gotta think about it for a second. O, of course, and oohs like you. O, no, ends with an oo. You, of course, ends with an oo. And then ow, the time is now. Now, ooh, also ends with an oo. And a lot of my students know, I will go over that in lessons. E's and oohs are extremely good to practice. The reason why, so surely heaven waits for you. So if I'm going, now your life's no longer empty. There's an E right there. I don't want to squeeze. So now your life's no longer empty. Surely heaven waits for you. There's ways to do that. Of course, if I've been singing a little bit more, but surely heaven waits for you. That ooh, you want to keep it moving. Surely heaven waits for you. You don't want to get too tight with it. You want to be open with it. If you compress too much, surely heaven waits for you. It might be stronger, but after you do that about 4 or 5 times, you're going to start really feeling it. Okay, so it's kind of finding a balance between a light, ooh, ooh, big breath. Now your life's no longer empty. Surely heaven waits for you. And just kind of relaxing and having a good time with it. You don't want to push it. You don't want to push it too much, especially when you're singing a long set. When I'm singing a long set, I also have a tendency to use a lot of that pharyngeal tone. I work really hard on that. Sometimes I feel if I were to record a song, same thing. Surely heaven waits for you. I wouldn't do that too much on a recording, but live you can get away with that a little bit more when you have a band doing it with you. Get a little bit more kind of that nasty sound. Not nasal, but really overemphasize that whiny toddler tone is what we call it. Surely heaven waits for you. And then you find a mix and you're good to go. So work on your oohs. Get the air flowing. Don't squeeze too much. If you have to get up there a little bit more, give it a little bit more of that pharyngeal but it's not it's not in the nose. It's behind the nose, as my students know. It's right in front of that pharyngeal tonsil that sits back here. It's a fun spot. So anyway, though, that's time. Thank you very much for the questions. Ask more questions. I'm going to do one more of these, I almost said blog, vlogs, vocal video logs. All right, I'm going to do one more of these this week. And then I'm actually going to take a break from Nashville. I'm going to go with one of my best friends I grew up with, and we're going to go to the Rockies. We're going to drink a lot of beer, drive Jeeps, and just have a fantastic time. So I'm going to take a week off and rest the voice a little bit and go out and just have a fun week with one of my best friends of all time. And in the meantime, y'all keep practicing, keep doing your thing. And I think Zeus he's done. He's done over there. He's laying down. He said he's not teaching you any days. Zeus, good work today, buddy. Good work today, Zeus. All right, cheers, y'all. Have a good one. We'll catch you, I guess, in a couple days. Take it easy.